Hey everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. You're in my corner and I have a very special guest in the corner. Would you like to unveil your not so secret identity?
Hi, I'm Crystal Lonnquist. I'm a tourist and I enjoy long walks on the beach and voice acting.
I love that. It's like a dating ad for a voice acting website.
It's usually my standard introduction is involving explaining how I enjoy long walks on the beach.
Well, I don't think anybody hates long walks on the beach.
Yeah, that's true. There's got to be somebody out there who hates them.
Oh, oh man, I hate the soothing sound of the ocean and this perfect weather and that air that's so
Too much,
clean.
too much foot exfoliation.
But no, it's fabulous to have you on the show. And for the
Yeah.
for the fans out there, they kept pointing out some really funny things to me, and I'm not sure if they were right or not. So I
Oh,
apologize.
really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were
Oh
right or
boy.
not. So we'll see. But you're actually are you related to a
Oh, I was wondering.
commentator?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know. Well, actually, you go ahead. Go ahead, and I'll confirm or deny.
Or deny. There's a commentator out there named DOA that's known for he played in StarCraft 2, I believe, and he lives in Korea now. And a lot of people were pointing out that you guys share the same last name, and I haven't watched esports in a while, so. I was like, wait, really? Like, is this, but I didn't want to make the jump because I'm like, I can't find the connecting thread. You guys just follow each other on Twitter, so I didn't want to assume too much.
Yeah, solely because we share the last name. No, yeah, you're referring to Eric Lonnquist, also known as Doa, short for Dead on Arrival. And yeah, he's my oldest brother.
That's a small world.
Yeah.
One of you gets in commentating, another of you gets in voiceover. You guys probably just switch on your off days, right?
Yeah, it kind of runs in the family. Our grandfather was a radio disc jockey for a long time. My aunt was a voice actress, although for mostly like commercial and stuff like that. And now she's a writer, so doesn't do voiceover anymore. But yeah, it kind of runs in the family, performance and voice related things.
Well, usually I ask people what inspired you to get into acting, but it seems like you were kind of just born into a family that really supported that.
I guess, yeah. For me, it was just something I was always interested in. Yeah, I was interested in acting first, and then around middle school, found anime at the best time with Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Full Metal Alchemist, so many great shows, and yeah, then just kind of blossomed from there.
Now, did you? I know a lot of people when they're in their, I guess their anime geek stage, like they're like anime is everything. Did you go to conventions and were you one of those people like I'm gonna be an anime voice actor?
Absolutely, absolutely. Which is why, yeah, some people kind of like look down on people like that, but I feel like we all kind of started from that place, and yeah, I was definitely the exact same person. Like I remember like seeing the very first episode of Pokemon when I was 12. I'm like our family's little like black and white TV that like because we live so far out in the middle of nowhere, we could only get in like negative black and white gradients and seeing that though and just being like, oh, I want to be a part of that and being like so sad and that I would never be a part of it. And then and 10 years later is still going strong and I was able to be a part of it. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we all start from that place.
Yeah, no, I agree because for for someone like me, I had that phase too, but I thought, hey, you can just survive on anime and you'll be fine. But it just seems like that's not, that's obviously not a possibility, which you find out once you get into voiceover that you
Yeah.
have to do essentially everything or as much as you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess lucky for me, I really love commercial voiceover as well. So I actually tend to do a lot more of that and corporate than character, although lately I have been trying to do a lot more character work as well. Yeah.
Now, out of sheer curiosity, is there a type of work that is in animation that you get really attracted to or that you find really easy for you?
In terms of voiceover or just in
Yes.
general? Yeah, commercial work. My voice is is much more suited for that in a natural sense than in character work. So yeah, commercial, and then also a really big popular trend right now is explainer videos. They're also known as infographics, which is basically a 1 minute video, usually animated, that just basically explains a product or service or nonprofit. It's for advertising that lives on the internet. So it'd be somebody's homepage video or YouTube advertising, but they're usually like longer than a commercial, about a minute in length, minute and a half. And I just find those really fun because those are really just casual and cheerful and just really easy. And there's so many of them out there. So I really enjoy doing those.
No, I can totally respond to that. Even though I've never gone to college, the college spots are the really easy ones for me. Like, I'm 16. I'm totally not 16.
Yep.
Well, now, for the fans out there, I believe one of the latest projects that you got to be a part of was a game on PlayStation called, oh gosh, I believe it's Rack and Ruin, Ruin and Rack, Rack and Ruin.
Yeah, Rack and Ruin, Rack and
Yes.
Ruin. Yep.
Now, could you explain a little bit about that game? And you did a multitude of voices in that game, I believe.
Yeah, basically, it kind of works like Zelda Ocarina of Time, where it's just a lot of emotes. So rather than saying full lines, it's just kind of a reaction to things. So like you come up to a new character and then they just say something like "Hey!" Like it's just a sound instead of full lines. So basically, yeah, he was just looking for one man and one woman to just do all the voices for it. So I did all the female voices, but they were really short. So it's just all the emotes. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do.
Well, I always hear from a lot of voiceover artists that, reaction type of sounds kind of like that are actually more fun to do than normal voiceover.
Um, it's certainly easier, and because you're only making one sound, and it also, because there were so many, I got to play so many characters versus you're playing like one or like maybe a few if you're lucky. But so it was great just for the chance to play with range and different things like that.
Fabulous. And now this is a fun little game to play. So if you guys get a chance to pick it up, I highly recommend it, especially if you're like, man, nothing's been coming out on the PlayStation. Well, there's something out on the PlayStation for you to grab.
It's really fun. Sorry, yeah, basically the plot is that you play a demon who, instead of trying to save the world, your goal is to destroy it. So it kind of it's very cheeky and mischievous and is very fun. I haven't been able to play the whole thing yet, but what I have played has been really fun, and great art, great music. It's a really great game, so highly recommend it.
And that's not the only game that recently came out that you're a part of. You're also
Yeah.
part of Technobabylon.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain a little bit about your character there? Because that game seems to have a really interesting plot about reality and technology.
Yeah, it's so my character is Latha Sesame, and in the trance, which is basically their version of the internet, her name is Mandala. And basically it's a cyberpunk, futuristic, apocalyptic thriller, where she basically is addicted to the internet, or the trance in this case, and wants to spend all of her time in it, and she becomes the target of an assassination. So it's trying to figure out what's going on, and then there's also two other main characters as well that are also trying to figure out things from the other side of the spectrum, and yeah, they just, all their lives intertwine, and it was that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting plot, and I would think it has some sort of, questions in a sense, kind of about life now, or and sort of how are we spending too much time on the computer too immersed into it, or should we, give more to reality?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm trying to like think, yeah, what I can say without giving it away. You'll just have to play it and check it out, and you'll see. But it does deal with a lot of important themes in a very natural way. Like it doesn't shine a light on them. They just exist. They just are. And so that's the storyline.
Well, now for all the fans out there, I linked to the game on our live chat. If you haven't gotten a chance to, play it or pick it up, it's actually 15% off on Steam right now.
I was just gonna say it is on sale, so get it while it's hot.
And that offer ends June 22nd. So you've got enough time until your payday hits to actually get that. So
Mm-hmm.
But for the fans out there, is there anything else you want to promote to them? Any other projects that you're working on that you can talk about?
Yeah, actually, I just got cast as lead in a short animated film by Robert Kohr. So it's at Robert Kohr, Kohr, on Twitter or Kortoon Studio. It's a short animated film that's, yeah, I'm trying to give it too much away too because it hasn't come out yet either. But it's about space and it's about the relationship of my character and her father, which I really love the story, and it kind of like reminded me a lot of kind of the relationship with my father too. She's really close with him, and kind of through his love of space, which he passes on to her, and my dad's really into space. It's kind of like passed that down. So there's a lot of overlap there, and it's just a really it covers a lot in a short amount of time. I'm really looking forward to it coming out. But otherwise, yeah, a lot of what I do is like the corporate commercial narration. So otherwise, other ways to find me, I guess, would be through corporate internal videos and advertising and things.
Well, the businessmen out there listening at work are very happy about that.
For all the businessmen out there, yes.
But no, it seems like I love hearing about that latest project, especially because you're taking, experiences from your real life and adapting it into your acting. I think that always makes it more meaningful, not just for you, but for everyone listening at home.
Yeah, yeah. There's this part where she's talking with her father on the phone, and yeah, I was basically just trying to think or trying to picture like if I was talking to my dad at the same time, like how would react to things. And I think, yeah, like you said, it brings out a much more real feeling to it.
Definitely. And so for the
All
fans
right.
out there, I definitely want to give you guys a little bit of time to pick up Technobabylon on Steam. So we're going to take a short
Do
break
it.
here on 91.8 The Fan. So go anywhere because their special guest isn't. Keep it tuned to your favorite station where we play everything you want and nothing you don't. Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91 The Fan. My special guest is still here, alive and breathing.
Last time we checked.
Yeah, okay. Well, I assume because you're talking, I'm pretty sure you need air to talk. I would find it difficult to do that underwater. But
Or I could be communicating to you telepathic. But there is a downside. You lose your vocabulary telepathically.
it's like that one thing on the internet where it's like, you have this great awesome thing, but you get
Comes
screwed
at a
over here.
cost.
Yeah. But our live chat seems to be, supporting a lot of your games and talking about getting them. So I appreciate that live chat
Woo.
and to
Yes, thank you.
give my live chat, something in return because I very rarely pay attention to their questions. I don't hate you guys. I just don't pay attention.
So get those, send them in.
But I did have a few people asking, because your quality is really fabulous and they're used to people, over phones and things like that. So they were wondering, what sort of mic you're using.
I have a blue baby bottle microphone. I also have a Studio Project C1 condenser, but the blue is the one I use currently.
It sounds so nice.
So far, so good. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, microphone shopping is always a fun thing because you have to
Oh,
find
yes.
something, just right for your voice. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of an issue for women too than men because men tend to have a little bit more of a bassiness to their voice that will be picked up by almost all microphones, but women, our voices are a little higher, so you really need to find that right level.
Especially if you're doing anything squeaky. Anything that's like for like a children's game or something that's, a character that's like a little fairy or something, that's when you really put the mic to this, I think.
Yeah, and it's good to have a microphone too that can handle the different ranges of projects, like we were talking about. Something that could work for narration or commercials, but like you said, could also work for character work. Because yeah, some of the top expensive microphones, they'll give you a great warmth to your voice, but it's just not right at all for character work.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. And for the fans out there, because you very much you came from a place where a lot of our listeners, they want to be in voiceover, kind of be involved in anime. Is there any, maybe advice you might want to give to them, or anything about setting up maybe a home studio or expanding your brand?
That's a good question. 'Cause there's so much I could tell you. I mean, I think the as from the performance standpoint, the standard advice is that it's good to have a background in acting, from theater or film or things like that. Be before you begin your voiceover journey, or even as you are doing your voiceover journey, just to have that really good foundation. I would argue even singing training is important, whether you can sing in tune or not. It can really strengthen your voice. That's something I've been working on a lot lately. And then really a big part of it is marketing and business. So if you can take classes in that, that would probably be really helpful. Because things, even if you get the lead in something, it's not like the work's just going to always come to you. Sometimes it does, and that's great. But for the most part, you have to seek it out yourself and always be marketing yourself, and putting yourself out there and meeting people.
I love that you mentioned singing because I'm finding that as well, especially with breath training. That's been
Hmm.
so ideal for doing longer sessions or for anything that requires me to scream. So definitely love
Yeah.
that.
And physical fitness is important too. My vocal coach kind of has like a good philosophy that I agree with, where if you are fine as is with your sessions and you have the proper breath support and you can have the energy and the stamina to last long sessions, because they can be 2, 4, 6, 8 hours long. They can be really long. So if you could do that fine as is, that's great. But if you feel like you are lacking in energy, then working out on a regular basis can really help a lot with that.
Got to get that cardio. I've talked about
Yep.
this a lot on my show, but do you remember Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. That was my physical fitness when I was in college, was playing Dance Dance Revolution. Uh,
I still do that. I do that,
yeah.
15 to 30 minutes a day, just because, and I'm still expanding the DDR collection,
Oh man.
but for me, that's great cardio because it's
I
repetitive.
I know. And I tried to keep up with it when so I grew up in Wisconsin and Minnesota, and when I moved to New York after college, I tried to keep up with it, but I always, and still now, like, lived above people. And so anytime I would break it out, they would get really angry because of all this on the floor. So I had to give it up. But I love Dance Dance Revolution.
I mean, another, alternative in case you still want to do something dance related. I'm not the biggest fan of just dance, but if you actually do all the moves with your body instead of just waving your arms around, it's actually a good alternative. Sometimes I'll swap between the two just to do something different.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, now that I've proved my absolute geekiness because I can't even exercise without video games.
I just do boring gym, and we actually there's a we live near a big park, and they have boating now. So we've been taking out, my husband and I have been doing pedal boats every weekend. We just like got a season pass right away. We're like done. Want to be out on the lake.
That's a nice one too. I had somebody as soon as you mentioned park just scream in the live chat, hardcore parkour, hardcore parkour.
Parkour, yes. We have some good spots for parkour. Yeah,
I think I would
should
just
probably
fall
take
and
that up.
break my nose.
That is a hazard of the sport.
Definitely. But for the fans out there, since we're nearing the end of this interview, I was wondering if you'd be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Sure.
Basically, we'd be willing to ask if you'd be able to do a radio bump for us.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool beans. We ask if you could say, hello, my name is, you insert your name, I do this. You can insert whatever you want there, and you're tuned into 91.8, The Fan.
Okay. Whatever. Or
Yep, whenever you're
okay.
ready.
Okay. Hello, my name is Crystal Lonnquist, the voice of Latha, Sesame, and Technobabylon, and you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan.
That was perfect. I have so many voice actors come on and they mix up the numbers and they add words.
98.1.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, perfectly awesome. Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners out there? Any place where they can keep up to date with what you're doing and any upcoming projects you have?
Well, there's always best place to keep up with me is my website. So crystal-lonnquist.com or Facebook. I just started a Facebook page, so follow me. It's just Crystal Lonnquist. And then on Twitter, I'm really bad at Twitter. I'm trying to get better at it. It's C Lonnquist VO.
And we've actually tweeted that a few times and followed that as well. So if you guys, if you guys actually want to find that and you're already following us, that's the way to do it as well. I got to find your Facebook so I can like it. That's, I think, the only thing I haven't found, but I will get there. And I will post it in the live chat for anybody that wants it as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Not at all. And thank you so much for joining us today. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
And for any of the fans out there that missed any of this interview, don't sweat it. You can find it on the website within the next few days. So keep your eyes peeled to 918thefan.com and your ears tuned to 91.8 The Fan, where we play everything you want and nothing you don't.